Welcome to 108 Gate, where we are looking at the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine energies. Right now, this is the Divine Feminine reading. Hope you are well. Hope you are doing things you enjoy. Hope you're getting rid of things that you don't really need around you. So, we have... Just looking quickly at the chart, things that are coming up. Emotions, the moon, 21 of Aries, 21 in Aries. So there is quite a feisty impact in the emotional arena. And we have Mars at 19 Sagittarius. We have the Sun at 29 Sagittarius. So we're coming to that point of quite a bit of fire pushing things along. And then also we have 15 in Aries. We have Chiron retrograde. Chiron should be going direct soon, and it's just feeling very very emotionally charged, emotionally forward moving. But the thing is, to move forward, we've also got to let things go. We've got to let certain things do their own thing, be on their own path. So, moving forward with confidence, moving forward because of confidence. This is feeling like a new, fresh sense of confidence coming in. I feel like we need to get a reading started in a different way today. Be what you want to see. You want to see, the lovers, the uniting of things, the harmony of things, confidence coming in to spaces and places where you may not have felt it before, in ways that you may not have imagined. Enjoy this space, because the clarity this brings you is also going to be opening up the consciousness. So as I'm even saying that, I'm seeing like flowers. You see the bud, and you see the stem, you see the leaves if it has any. And until the bud opened, you don't know the full potential of that flower. Yes, you may know that that flower is a rose, or it's a, I don't know, chrysanthemum, or whatever flower it is. But you don't know how beautiful or how expansive the leaves are going to be, how the flower is going to be, how the scent of the flower is going to be, until it actually opens. And we don't always know the conditions it's going to be opening in. So if one is planted in one space and it has lots of sun that it needs, and then another plant is planted there but it doesn't need so much sun, and then it's kind of withering, is those kind of finding out what your conditions are, to make sure that you are making the most of yourself, to make sure that you are being nurtured in the correct way that you need to be. Having said that, that's also going to then require that you acknowledge where you weren't nurtured in the way that you needed to be, and that may have been a hindrance. It may have been a space where you kept yourself locked, or feeling unable to go beyond that limitation or boundary. Right, so we're getting quite a few cards coming out. Right. So... we've got a Six of Swords, leaving some things behind that were not beneficial, leaving some things behind because you want more of this. You want more clarity of what you love. You want more clarity around that which loves you. You want more clarity around doing things that are beneficial for you and beneficial to you. Therefore, increasing your... I'm going to say increasing your wealth, internal wealth, increasing your value of yourself. But I know I've been saying it a lot, but it's because it's deepening. So as you are increasing your value, you increase your perspective of your value, you increase your awareness of your value, your consciousness, your subconsciousness, your aura, your communication about yourself, communication to yourself, communication from others to you is going to shift and change too. So although I'm saying similar words from one reading to the next around things like when she's coming in at the moment, the Queen of Coins, it doesn't mean it's exactly the same. It's like that, you can't step in the same river twice. It's the flow. The flow is different. The nature of it is different. The day is different. The climate is different. The weather is different. More so than the climate, not the climate. The weather is different. The climate may change, but the climate changing is takes a longer time. The seasons of yourself are shifting and changing. The way you are being more determined now. It feels like there's an energy of being more determined to leave behind what's not working. So it's not a matter of when I or how am I. It's a matter of you are. A lot of you are leaving behind the things that are not working for you, because you know it's important, and because the value, this is where it's important to acknowledge the difference, because as your value in yourself, the importance of value in yourself is increased, and there's more clarity around this. That's how you're going to understand more so of your ability to go into a new arena of yourself, into new spaces of yourself, into new consciousness of yourself. So it's very forward moving, and again, it's the emotional influence of Moon being in Aries, 21 degrees. It's very powerful. It's very forward moving, like I said earlier. So awareness of where you're heading, awareness of why you're heading this way, is a lot of it is linked to that increasing value of self. If you have if, for example, you have a real fluffy jumper and you're in warm weather, you're in hot weather, the value of that jumper whilst you're in hot weather isn't going to be as great as when you're in cold weather and then you have that fluffy jumper that keeps you snuggly and warm. It doesn't mean it's not of its integral value when it's hot. It just means it's actually activating a particular value. When it's cold, it's being active in its value when it's cold and being a fluffy jumper that keeps you cozy and warm. Hope that makes sense. So it's you being in your active value, actively being in your higher value, actively acknowledging your higher value, true feelings. Therefore, those true feelings that come up toward yourself, it might be changing. You might be able to give yourself a bit more credit, seeing where you're not being valued as much as you should be or could be. Therefore, letting it go. These are tiny, tiny, tiny increases. These are tiny, tiny, tiny shifts and changes, but they have to be because of the nature of the change. So it's not just a tiny change and then what was the benefit of that? It's these tiny shifts and changes are indicators of you heading in the correct direction for yourself, in heading into a larger, more concrete, a more solid space within yourself, a more confident awareness of your true feelings. And then where you've been telling yourself that you're not worthy of this and you're not worthy of that, it may have been true at a certain point, but now you're feeling more so the truth of, I am worthy of happiness, I am worthy of being loved, I am worthy of embracing my higher skills, I am worthy of embracing who I am in a higher potential, in a fuller potential. So letting go more so of the places where you were limited or restricted. So there we go, rejuvenation. I'm going to get one more. I'm going to put that here actually. Confidence, rejuvenating. Then we go back to the cards. See what we've got there. It is a great vibe. It's very, it could be very exhausting if you're not seeing the benefit of it. It could be very tedious if you're not seeing the benefit of it. That's why it's important to acknowledge those small wins, those small increases. They're not actually that small. The fact is, you're heading in the correct direction, you're moving in the correct direction. And if others are kind of making those comments, we've spoken about this periodically, especially in the last few months, that you're achieving something, and then someone says, "Is that all? Is that all it is? Is that all you've done? You've been working on that for ages, or you've been doing this, and it's like we still had no results. Or is that all the result you had?" It can be really painful. It can be emotionally hurtful. So then it's taking that power back from that and seeing that, you know what, just because so-and-so's comments or so-and-so's perspective of my achievements is very limited or restricted, I know what it took to get to this point. I know what it took to move forward. I know what it took to invest in myself and in what I'm doing. And I know that even though it's not the big picture result, it's an indicator of getting to that big picture result. It's an indicator of going in the correct direction. So not to listen to those negative input, not to listen to, and not to hold on to those energies or emotions that are coming up when someone has a very flippant, kind of insensitive, unkind and demeaning comments. Ra, there we go, 10 of Swords. You don't want to be holding on to those swords. You have swords of defense, your clarity. You have the swords here, which is helping you relieve yourself of something that's just not beneficial, helping you to move towards something calmer, towards something that's more peaceful and nurturing, and letting go of the painful swords, the things that just kept dagging and dagging and dagging. It's like I don't quite remember when it was, but I know there've been periodic interactions with this energy of like someone coming in and just saying, "Is that it?" Undervaluing what you're achieving, undervaluing who you are, undervaluing your small universal energetic indicators of you moving in the correct direction. It's a very awkward energy to navigate. So if you are navigating it, keep going. Don't let them hold you down. Don't let them hold you back. And don't let them undervalue your value. Don't let them undervalue what you're doing. And as I'm saying that and holding my hand here, I'm feeling it more and more that you might start remembering recently or further back, or as a child, or whatever it is, even flashbacks from past lives of where you've been undervalued, or an achievement has been like poo-pooed on. It's like, okay, so it's not a big deal to you, it's not a big like increase, or it's not a big progress milestone to you, or it's not a sense of emotional stability for you, but that you haven't come from the same places and going to the same direction. So ignoring on some level that's what's being said to you. And what I mean by that is to not hold on to the pain that is brought up, not to hold on to the embarrassment or the humiliation it could have been bringing up. Is more to do with acknowledging that's happened, appreciating your ability to clarify that that's happened, knowing you're more so in a space of wanting harmony, peace, love, and sharing more with people who actually get what you're doing, sharing more so with people who actually understand why you're heading in the correct direction for you, and supporting you in that. Even if they don't understand it, they can see that you understand it, and they are sensitive enough to understand that. You have in relation to each other, it may be that it's a small win, but to you, they can sense that this is an achievement for you. This is a massive achievement for you. Doesn't matter how small it is. The fact is, it's going in the correct direction. When we're going in the correct direction, we don't know how big and wide it's going to be as we keep going in the correct direction. And this is why I'm saying about the Queen of Coins, the value of self, the understanding the value of self is not just a surface. Oh, I'm at this salary point, I'm at this hierarchy in the family, or I'm at this position professionally, or whatever it is. It's really about you approaching yourself and examining your unconscious mind in a way that allows you to identify your higher value, allowing you to identify where your heart and your mind and your emotions are sensing more of who you are. Again, it's going to be this tug and pull of some not understanding it, some not liking it on some level, so not letting that pull you down. Just keep going in the correct direction for you, keep going in the higher value space of you. And then again, we've got a 5 of swords, so there is going to be conflict around this. How many swords do we have? The it's like I could literally see it as a picture, the way it's drawn out right now. It's so sweet. As long as you keep the value of self, there's some heartache here, there's some emotional turmoil, there's some emotional pain, and it may not even be that you're feeling the pain emotionally now, but physically you may be feeling the impact of past pain, you may be feeling the impact of past exhaustion of emotions and things like that. So to be gentle with yourself, and especially the way the configurations are going to be going soon as we're heading into Capricorn. The sun coming to the beginning of Capricorn, and then Pisces, Pluto going to be edging out of Capricorn. It is quite something. It's a very stretchy kind of energy. There's a lot of configurations that are going to be coming up that are going to really allow you to make some tremendous changes in your life. Those of you who are not quite ready yet or not willing to do it, it's okay. You'll still be able to feel the benefit on some level. It keeps coming in as a divide. I don't know if we're coming up for another split. We may be coming up for another split. And not to be alarmed about that. It just simply means you start going more to your authentic path, and then you're doing things more at your own pace. Some people are going to be speeding up in some areas, some people are slowing down, some areas are slowing down, some areas are speeding up. It's just literally it's just being your authentic self, finding your own pace, doing things in your own way. It's no correct or wrong thing, unless you're not doing what you need to do for yourself. Then it's going to be feeling wrong, and you're going to identify where it's wrong for you, therefore more able to be in a correct space for you. So, with all of that, I'm going to wrap this up here, and let's go into the Divine Masculine reading. So this is quite an intense energy. It's a fantastic, productive energy. It's going to be a lot of emotional work. It's going to be a lot of truth to self, and it's going to be a lot of acknowledging own behaviour, acknowledging where you've let people come in and just crush your spirit, crush your emotions, crush your hope, crush what you've been working on in an instant like that. It could be a word, it could be a comment, it could be a look. Get your power back from that. If someone has done that now, or coming up, or in the past, you just get that strength to just be able to disconnect from it and pull your power back. That's not how I feel about myself. That's not how I feel about my project. That's not how I feel about what I'm working towards. That's not how I feel about my value. Therefore, I'm disregarding it. Therefore, I'm disconnecting from it. Therefore, it can go do what it wants somewhere else. Anyway, I could keep going deeper and deeper into this. I'm going to stick another card here because I do have a feeling that in the new year, she says, numerologically new year, 24, in the numerical 2024 new year, the readings may get longer. May even sooner, may even before then. Why wait until then? Anyway, for now, strength. Building up the stamina, building up the strength. Make more effort will get you what you want. Don't let others deplete your energy. Don't let others deplete your value. Don't let others deplete the value of what you're achieving. That's easier said than done. It's way easier said than done, because the emotional tugs that's where you're going to be feeling the pain. That's where you're going to be feeling the depletion. It's like, why bother? Why bother with this and that when or every time I'm trying to improve myself, or every time I'm trying to do this or that, someone comes in and just like smacks it down, or they devalue it or whatever. The point is to not let that happen anymore. Not let that deplete you. Keep rising. Keep rising. Keep rising. So for that, I'll leave you with peace and love.